Hi, hello, welcome to another video here on my channel. Today's video is a very exciting one. As you can tell, I'm in an empty room, so that might be a little bit annoying, but we are getting ready to leave in 2 days, as in we are hitting the road in 2 exact days. And even though we are getting ready to leave, I wanted to do a My Free Little Library video, and right now I want to go over all the books that I have in here. There's about 16, 17 books that I want to unhaul or just get rid of and put into these My Free Little Libraries. So let me go through those real quick, and then we will hop into the actual Free Little Libraries. The first book I have is this Turbo 23. I've actually never heard or seen this. We actually had a community garage sale. I wanted a specific book that these people had, this family, and they ended up just giving me a bunch of books for free. So this is the one out of that stack of, I do believe, 5 books that I'm getting rid of. This is the first one. Then I have 3 books by Ellen Hildebrand I'm getting rid of. So we have 28 Summers, The Identicals, and also A Summer Affair. I didn't really care too much for these. I think The Identicals was my favorite out of all these. 28 Summers started out as like a 4-star, dropped to 2 stars, and then A Summer Affair was like straight up 2 stars. I just did not like it. These 3 are one of those that are highly kind of popular, at least Ellen Hildebrand, and I feel like are a great little donation, I guess you could say, to a My Free Little Library. I have 2 different Hardy Boy books. These are the newer editions. We have number 29, The Secret of the Lost Tunnel, and then number 30, The Whale and Siren Mystery. I just changed these out for an older style, so I'm getting rid of these. I kind of hate to say this, but my favorite thing I'm getting rid of is the entire After series by Anna Todd. We first have After, then After We Collided, After We Fell, After Ever Happy, and then Before. I'm getting rid of all of these. I just don't feel the need to read them. I've tried to read them so many times and I just can't get into them, so they are finally being donated. I also have Stephen King's Cell. I loved this book last year. It was a 5-star, but my mom has the original copy and also a first print edition. First print or first edition. So if I ever want to circle back to that book, I will just be reading hers. Also, I just don't like the size. I have Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. This is because I finally found a hardcover for this. I've been swapping them out slowly because I've had more hardcovers than paperbacks, and I finally found one, so now somebody else gets to have this if they want it. Then I have Girl in Pieces. I've read this. I kind of like the beginning and then the end. I just didn't care much for the whole middle section, and I just don't feel the need to keep it. I don't think I'll ever circle back to it, so I'm just gonna get rid of it. Hopefully somebody will like it. Same with You'll Be the Death of Me. My thinking is because she's a popular author, since she is the one who wrote One of Us is Lying, hopefully somebody will see this and maybe they never read this book before, or it's maybe now something that they're interested in and they'll be excited to pick this up. I never read this, and for some reason it just doesn't seem intriguing anymore. Then we have Pearl Harbor's Final Warning. I read this. I also skimmed a lot of this. I got this on base for free. I don't feel like I need to make a profit or anything. I just feel like donating it, especially since it's history. It's an exciting book, but at the same time, it just wasn't one of my favorites. And lastly, I have Once Upon a River. I also got this for free, and I just wanted to turn around and donate it. I thought about reading it, and then I didn't even get to take off the stickers, to be honest. I just felt like it wasn't necessarily for me, so a Free Little Library might be perfect. Oh, and I guess also I can say I'm donating this bookmark. I don't use bookmarks like this, so I don't want this. That is all the books I'm getting rid of. Let me go ahead, hop in the truck with my husband, and we will be headed to a few different locations. The first location we stopped at actually had 2 little free libraries outside, which was very exciting. Both were very full, but the second one wasn't as crowded as the first one when I opened it. Both also had 2 rows of books, and nothing necessarily jumped out at me. A few books did look a little interesting, kind of like this one called Unraveled by Jennifer Albin. This book called Fireproof that says never leave your partner caught my eye for a split second. And of course there were some Lee Child and James Patterson books. Since I was actually at a community center, I kind of felt like the Harry Potter and Hardy Boys were really good books to get rid of. Over in that second library that I was just talking about, since there was 2 in this location, I seen this book called The Rebel that I thought had a really cool cover. I also kind of considered this book based solely off of its cover, only for a second, but I did not end up getting it. This second location had a very vibrant and color library, especially in the desert sun. It was kind of blinding, not gonna lie. Again, nothing necessarily jumped out at me when I initially opened up the library, but nonetheless, it was a spot that I could get rid of some of my books that I had. I thought this book had a really pretty spine, which also ended up being the front cover. It was one of those books that I would like to look up on Goodreads later to see if I actually wanted it or not, to kind of read more about it and also see the reviews. And I also like the spine on this book called What Light by J. Asher. And then I seen a second Crossfire by James Patterson. I ended up seeing maybe 4 or 3 of these Crossfire books in total throughout the entire day. I felt like for this location, my 3 Ellen Hilderbrand books would work really well in this library. There was also enough space in this library for all 3 of them to be together, which is what I originally wanted for these. At this next library, I didn't get to film a lot because the owner actually came out to talk to me just a little bit. Him and his 2 labs came to say hello, which I thought was really nice. I did drop off 3 books inside. One was You'll Be the Death of Me, another one was Turbo 23, and then Pearl Harbor's Final Warning. Our final location that we stopped at was actually quite small and a little bit crowded. This library also had 2 rows somehow to it. It was jam-packed, and I didn't try pulling out too many books to see what was in the back. There was a lot of kids books throughout this one, and there were some books that I've read in elementary school, specifically this Magic Treehouse of Titanic, a nice little memory of a few books that I forgot about for a hot minute. I did end up seeing this Ashes in the Snow book that I pulled out to read a little bit on the back, and I also wanted to look it up on Goodreads later as well. I do believe I ended up taking this one. It's been a few weeks, I'm sorry. We actually ended up moving. I did, however, donate Girl in Pieces at this library. Since there wasn't much room, I kept it at just 1 book. I also forgot to film an outro. Our realtor ended up calling us about our buyers. So thank you all so much for watching my first little free library video. I really want to do this in the future in our new state. I hope to see y'all in another video here on my channel, and God bless.